Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Joffy Noodle Legs here again today. Today's another horror video. Today I'm going through my top 10 favourite classy horror films. Now what I mean by that doesn't mean that they're first class or posh or anything like that. What it means to me, a classy film, is that it's shot brilliantly, great photography, the acting is fantastic, there's no cheesy acting. There's no sort of silly looking effects or silly monsters. These are proper horror stories with a proper story with proper good strong acting. To me, that's a class film. So I'm going to go through my top 10 today. So first of all, I'm going to go through a couple of honourable mentions. First of all is this French film called Martyrs. This is a great film. It's a very graphic film. It's a very disturbing film, but it's really well acted, and it's a great film. I'm not going to tell you the plot line because I don't want to spoil it, but if you've not seen Martyrs, I'd recommend you check it out. It is like a sort of kidnapping sort of film, but really watch it. But it is gory. You need a strong stomach. Another modern one, in another honourable mention with Emily Blunt, is A Quiet Place. This is a fantastic film. I think it's a great storyline. Yes, it's got monsters in it, but they don't look silly. They look really cool, and it's really well acted. It's a really convincing sort of survival horror film. Really highly recommend seeing it, especially if you're a big lover of video games like Silent Hill and Resident Evil. If you like those sort of games, this is kind of along those sort of lines, but it's done in a really tasteful way, and it's really shot beautifully as well. Another honourable mention is a classic, and it's one of my all-time favourite films of all time, and I've spoken about it loads of times, and that's obviously The Omen. Brilliantly acted, fantastic cast with Gregory Peck, Lee Remick and everything. It's a great cast. Brilliantly acted, amazing storyline, very haunting film, and to me it's a perfect horror, and that's why it went on to get two sequels, The Omen 2 and Omen 3, which again I recommend as class films. All three of those films are real brilliant, awesome class films. Check them out if you've never seen The Omens. So now we're going to get into my top 10. There's a mixture of old and new films in here, mostly new films to be honest. This first one, number 10, is one I spoke about before, and this is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. This is a courtroom drama based film about a priest done an exorcism on Emily Rose, but it wasn't successful, and so he's defending why he did it. They did it in the best interest of Emily Rose. It's a fantastic film. It is shot brilliantly. Really convincing courtroom drama, and the acting in it is superb. Really good. That's number 10. Number 9, I've spoken about this one before. I think it was in my disturbing films. I think it could have been, but it's Hannibal, with Anthony Hopkins. Obviously this is about Hannibal Lecter, the serial killer. This is based after Silence of the Lambs, when he's escaped from his prison cell, whatever you want to call it. This is him doing his ghastly acts after escaping. It's a really good film, excellently acted. I just love it. It's my favourite out of all those Hannibal Lecter films, and I just think it's just shot beautifully. It's got some amazing sort of opera music in it, and everything about it just rings class, and it's just brilliant. That is number 9. Number 8, one I've not spoke about before. It's a Brian De Palma film, the director of Dressed to Kill, and it's of a Stephen King story, and that's Carrie with Sissy Spacek. This is a really good film. It's got a very young John Travolta in it. It's really well acted, I think, and the storyline's fantastic. But the acting in it makes this film. It's an amazing film, and it's a really underrated horror film, I think, Carrie. It doesn't get a lot of sort of love that it needs. I mean, they did do a remake of it, which was nowhere near as good as the original 80s one here. fantastic film. If you ever get to see it, the girl with the psychic powers, watch it. That's Carrie. Brilliant film. Number 8. Number 7. This one, a lot of people don't like it. It gets a lot of flack. I don't know why. I think it's brilliant. And it's Daniel Radcliffe's in The Woman in Black. I absolutely love this film. I think it's beautifully shot. I love costume dramas anyway, especially in horror films. And I think the costumes were spot on. I think the location was spot on. And it was, the atmosphere in it was fantastic. There's lots of jump scares in it. Lots of sort of like mysterious shadows in the graveyard around the house. Obviously, the story is fantastic. I think it's based on like a play, and they made a film of it. And this is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend you seeing this if you've not seen it. I enjoyed the acting. I thought the acting was really good. I thought Daniel Radcliffe done an amazing part in that, and in a horror film. Really good. Seen it. Number 7. Number 6. It's another costume drama, not as far back as that one, but this is The Awakening. It's supposed to be filmed like between World War One and Two, and it's about a woman that goes to investigate this school where they said that they believe it's haunted by a ghost, and she's trying to prove that it's not. And it's a great film. Rebecca Hall is the main star in this film. Really well acted. Costumes are fantastic. The scenery is brilliant. And it is a fantastic film. It's got this real sort of classy look about it. So check out The Awakening. Really love that film. If you've not seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. Okay, it's number 6. So now we're into my top 5. We've got a Del Toro film in number 5. And that is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Really good film. He makes awesome films, as you know. He did Pan's Labyrinth and the one that was in my other top 10, which has gone off my head by now. But yeah, he's done loads of fantastic films, and all these films are gorgeous looking films. And this is no different to that. It's gorgeous looking. It is well acted. It's got creatures in it, but they're quite believable as well. These sort of like little goblin creatures that live in sort of like the drain pipes and everything. And it's about a family that moved to this old house, and this girl discovers these creatures in there, and it's a really good film. Love that film. It's more of an acceptable horror film, like anyone could sort of watch this, but it has got some scary moments in it. Yeah, really good film. That's my number 5. Right, number 4. Spoke about this one before. I think it was my number 1 underrated film, and it's the Swedish film Let the Right One In. This is a vampire movie, which is fantastic. Brilliantly acted by these 2 young actors and actresses there. It's an amazing film. I just can't get over how incredible this film is. It's the most beautifully shot film, and it's just like my favourite vampire film, and it's just brilliant. And obviously it's about the young boy lives in the apartments with his mum. This girl moves next door, turns out to be a vampire, and it's a story of their relationship between those 2. And it's a really good film. Highly recommend you seeing it, and the soundtrack is amazing. Number 3, a classic Stephen King film with Jack Nicholson. That's The Shining. I think this is an amazingly acted film. I think they all act really well, and I love this sort of bleakness of the film. It's really bleak, and I love the location. I think the hotel looks amazing, and it's got loads of memorable moments in the film. It's a really scary, spooky film. Obviously, it's about Jack Nicholson there. I think his name's Jack Torrance in the film. He goes to be the caretaker through the winter when the hotel closes down, and slowly gets cabin fever and just goes mad. And well, I'm not going to give too much around the story in case you've not seen it, but I'm sure you have. But it's an amazing film. Really well acted. Number 2, another classic from the 1993, I think it was. And this is Bram Stoker's Dracula, with Gary Oldman as Dracula. Also stars Keanu Reeves and Anthony Hopkins, Winona Ryder. The cast is endless on this one. But what a beautifully shot film. Another costume drama. Gary Oldman's portrayal of Dracula is probably the best portrayal of Dracula. I mean, Christopher Lee is amazing Dracula, of course, but this is the best portrayal of the actual Dracula from the book. It's fantastic. You wouldn't, if you've not seen this, you've not watched a horror film. To be honest, this is the best Dracula film, and Gary Oldman's portrayal is fantastic. The costumes are amazing. The settings are absolutely incredible, and there is quite a nice bit of gore in there as well. That's number 2. Number 1, don't get talk about very much. Stars Sean Connery, and this is The Name of the Rose. This is a sort of gothic slasher film, if you like, based around a monastery where these monks keep getting killed off over this book. It's supposed to be a book of comedy, which is not to be seen or whatever, but people see it and they get killed and in sort of like horrible ways. It's a really, really good costume drama. So it's based in right back in medieval times, and it is about these priests, and Sean Connery is like a sort of a priest that's sort of been condemned by the priesthood, but he comes up to investigate the murders at this monastery, and he sort of like has to tackle the Spanish Inquisition. It's a really, really good film, Name of the Rose. I highly recommend that, and it's full of class. There you go. That's my top 10 class films. What did you think of those? Is there any there you think should have been in there? If there is, put them down below in the comments. So there we go. That's my next time. I've got a few more top 10s in the pipeline. I'm going to do a comedy one, which is just going to be comedies, not horror. I'm thinking of doing a sitcom one on TV sitcoms, because I'm a big fan of sitcoms. And obviously I would keep you up to date with any sort of spider videos that might be coming out. I know you guys like my tarantula videos. That's what most of you are here for, but I like to expand on those a bit, and I might do some more sort of like videos out with my drone. So it all just depends on my health at the moment and how well I'm feeling. But anyway, I hope you like this video. If you get a chance, go and check out Horror Hands for me, and The Horror Geek, and Man vs Film. They're great channels. But until next time, please look after yourselves, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.